The Art of Noise, Invisible Silence. Trevor Horn was the 80s superstar producer, the Mark Ronson, Fatboy Slim and Phil Spector of his day. He first became a name to watch when, as one of the Buggles, he produced the iconic hit Video Killed the Radio Star. He became the go-to producer for record companies sitting on a potential hit that needed a bit of oomph. He produced big hits for the Jags and Yes. He became such a phenomenon that he was able to start his own label and had massive success with Frankie Goes to Hollywood. He was a pioneer of sampling using state-of-the-art digital equipment, most notably the Fairlight sampler keyboard. The orchestral strike became the clarion call of the times. As the 80s progressed, so digital equipment became more affordable. By the time I found myself in a West Hampstead basement studio with two friends, trying to be the new stock Aitken and Waterman, Alesis had bought out the affordable MIDI Verb, and Casio had bought out affordable full-sized keyboards. We still could only dream of Fairlights, but a company called Greengate had a sampler that worked with a home computer and had been used by the Fine Young Cannibals. I used to buy cassettes not for enjoyment but to learn the tricks of production and songwriting. We knew Max Headroom, and we had worked with a Bond girl and a guy who knew Shaking Stevens, so we were going places. I would listen to this album, along with Tina Turner's Private Dancer and Malcolm McLaren's Duck Rock, on my Sanyo Walkman copy as I cycled the suburbs or rode the tube. The album is instrumental, though it does use sampled voices as ooze. It is a very interesting artefact of its time, though the single they released, a version of the Peter Gunn theme with Duane Eddy, is still quite entertaining. The whole thing apart from Duane Eddy could nowadays probably be made using a mobile phone, but it is still a good charity shop find, and definitely of interest to musical historians. In the 90s, Art of Noise made an album based on the life of Claude Debussy, which I heard being used as background music on a Radio 4 book at bedtime. I was not listening much to modern music at the time, but I bought it and played it a lot. It sounded new and fresh. I listened to it again as research for this piece, and it has not aged well. And that is the risk of being at the cutting edge. Art of Noise, Invisible Silence.